Hey y'all, hey, it's JJ Conway, and today I have some very, very special guests. They are featured VIP speakers for our upcoming Women's Wealth Summit, Women Building Wealth Together. And I am super, super excited to have them with us today. Hello, hello, ladies. How are you doing?
Good evening. I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Hi,
So good to be
JJ.
here.
I'm so excited you all are on today. And I got to tell you, whenever I do these kind of conferences, I'm always discovering something new. I'm always learning something new. I watch what one of the speakers has to say, and I'm like, wow, that is powerful. Y'all, if you have not already gone to womenswealthsummit.com and gotten your complimentary ticket, you need to get on out there. And so what we're going to do today, just for a few minutes, we're just going to be live for just a few minutes today. We're going to give you a little sneak preview of what these speakers are going to bring to the table. But before we do that, I got to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart. And y'all, if you subscribe to the Building Wealth Together podcast, you would have heard about it Saturday, but I haven't actually published the podcast yet. And I haven't published Mindset Monday because I was going to use this as the lead in for Mindset Monday. So I have like all kinds of behind. So I'm going to talk about it now. April is the month of the military child. And the reason I wanted to start off our special session today talking about the military child is because a lot of times we think the military people for their service, we think the spouses for their service, but the kids really do bear the brunt of a lot of their parents' service. And we like to say things that like make us feel better about ourselves. Like we like to say, oh, kids are so resilient. But y'all, my son is on his 8th school and he's in 10th grade. And so I have seen firsthand that yes, kids are resilient, but every child needs a stable home. And if you can provide your military child a stable, loving environment, no matter where they live, my hat's off to you. Wherever we moved, I always tried to surround him after the divorce. I tried to surround my oldest son with people, with other adults that could speak into our lives. And I think it's a direct translation to this conference, the Women Building Wealth Together conference that's coming up next month. Because if our children aren't well taken care of, it's really, really difficult for us to take care of the future. If our children are suffering, it's hard for us to look beyond what's here. But what do we know about successful people? Successful people make decisions according to their purpose, not according to their present circumstances. But when our child is hurting, or when our child has to move from place to place, or are always getting the phone calls from the principal about our child's behavior issues because they just are unsettled, or they've had this trauma or that trauma. And so many military kids have had this trauma or that trauma. It's hard for us as women to really focus on the long term and the strategic goals. And so that's why the month of the military child is so very, very, very special to me. I encourage you to support your local base, naval station, any place that you can pour into the lives of a military child. All right, that's my public service announcement for today. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask each of our speakers to introduce themselves and just kind of give you a little taste of what you're going to get in the Women Building Wealth Together conference. Let's go ahead and start with Lucillenia. How you doing today?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for this opportunity and for including me in the Women Building Wealth Conference. I'm so grateful and so excited, not just to be a part, but to also hear the other amazing presenters. I am hailing from Baltimore, Maryland, and I'm the founder of Radiant. I founded Radiant after an abusive relationship to help women and anyone who identifies as a woman to use sensuality as a healing modality, to return to our bodies and to introduce and be more comfortable inviting pleasure into our lives.
Well, that's going to be a very important conversation. And I know that most people know me as a holiness minister, but one of the reasons I like having at least one person come in and talk to, and those of you who've been in my conferences, you know that Dr. Martha White, she's been our resident sex therapist for ever since, for 5 years now. I like to have somebody come in and talk about sensuality and sexuality in my conferences, because I feel like it's a topic that, especially among Christian women, we don't discuss enough. And so I imagine that me and Lucillenia might have some differences of opinion on expression, but one thing you will always find me advocating is that women need to understand their bodies, and they need to be able to communicate to their partners what they need. And I don't want to embarrass anybody. I know I got a lot of men that watch my channel, but I'm just saying, you wonder why your wife is not interested. You wonder why your partner's not interested. Well, if she's not interested, there's a reason, and she may never tell you. But if she begins to be comfortable with her body, then she'll be able to tell you, this is what I need. Okay. So anyway, that awkward moment can pass by. Lucillenia, what do you think is, what do I want to ask? Can you look, my numbers are dropping. I can see them all dropping. That's all the guys like, yeah, this is not the conversation I signed up for. But really, what do you think is, cultural wise, why do you think it's so different? Because some cultures, and I imagine you've been around enough different cultures, some cultures really don't have a problem with women understanding their sensuality and sexuality. Can you talk a little bit to that?
Absolutely. So I was raised in a Pentecostal home. My grandparents were pastors. My mom is a minister. I am, a Black woman, but raised in a Puerto Rican household. So I have the benefit of being able to maneuver both the Black culture and the Latino culture. And I was raised around, very religious ideals that turn into shame. And that's why sensuality was so important to me, because one, absolutely, it is very, very essential for the bedroom. But the way that it helped me to be free was to take it outside of the bedroom and to realize that it doesn't have to be inherently sexual.
Okay, so you're making a distinction between sensual and sexual.
Yes, absolutely. And wanting women to understand that those conversations definitely need to be had. But what if we approached our life in a way that opened up the doors to experiencing our world using our 5 senses, not just in the bedroom, but to really, which means that we have to slow down long enough to really find out what works, what brings us pleasure, what brings us joy, what makes us feel good, so that when we approach the world in our businesses and our families and whatever setting that we're in, that we can show up as our most confident and our most favorite self, as opposed to the hustle and grind of just being busy and never being in connection with who we are and our bodies.
Woo, that is a lot of juiciness that we are going to be talking about in the Women Building Wealth Together conference. If you have not already, you need to go out to womenswealthsummit.com and get your ticket while there's still some complimentary tickets left. All right, Lupe, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're going to be bringing to the table in our Women's Wealth Summit?
Hi, JJ. Thank you so much for organizing this event, and thank you so much for having me. I am very honored to have this opportunity to share my story. So at this conference, I'm going to talk a little bit about my real estate investing journey. So I am active duty military in the Navy. And I'm also a real estate investor. I want to talk about how you can managing a busy career, but not giving up building wealth and living your legacy at the same time. So there are ways to do it. And it's just all about connecting with the right people and about education. So these are the things I want to share. I'm very passionate about this topic because I always think, I didn't grow up in a household. My parents are not wealthy, and I just didn't have a lot of the tools to help me to understand all these things. And a lot of people still don't. So we need to share this. We need to share the knowledge and wisdom so we can all rise together.
Yes, yes, I love it. I love it. And it's no shame on our parents or our grandparents if we didn't necessarily get some information. They're probably doing the best they could do at the time. But now it's up to us to take the future into our own hands. And that's what you've done. That's why I'm so excited to have you as a part of our Women's Wealth Summit, that are Women Building Wealth Together annual conference. I'm so excited for both of you all to be on today. So I see that we have a ton of comments, and I have been so caught up in what you all were saying that I have not been broadcasting the comments. So let me go ahead and see if I can show some of these here while we're going. You guys have some comments here. Now, the amazing Tam Lawrence, she has done some fantastic projects, and if you haven't heard of her Power Her project, you've got to go out to Exposure Network TV and take a look at it. Ms. Jackie, she is one of our speakers. She's going to be speaking about grant writing and things like that. And it showed me more, but I can't seem to access them here on my screen. So I don't know what I did, but here comes some more. Here comes some more. Yes. The conversations need to happen. Now, here's what I messed up at as a host. And I'm going to ask that everybody give me some grace, because I was supposed to pay better attention to this. If you have some comments or questions for our speakers, I don't want any dead air, so I don't want to wait too long. But if you have some questions or comments for our speakers, please drop them in the comments so we can have some interaction, because we want to be able to support them. And some of our speakers are pros. They've done millions of these, but some of our speakers are brand new and this is their first event. And so we want to be able to encourage them today. All right. Let's see. Now, here's something else that I'm going to do. I'm going to ask my speakers that are on today to prepare like a 30-second tip that they can leave with the audience, and then I'm going to full screen you so that it's all you, and then you'll be able to extract that later and use it in your marketing. How was that? All right. So just give that some thought. While we're giving that some thought, I do want to just add, this is a women's wealth conference, and I had some speakers that I requested to participate who said, well, I just don't feel like I really fit in, because I talk about relationships, or I talk about parenting, or I talk about these things that they really aren't about finance. And I'm like, whoa, no. It's all about finance. It's all about finance, because like we were saying earlier when we were talking about the month of the military child, if my children aren't well taken care of, it's hard for me to build wealth. If I have to deal with all this family trauma and all these other things, or I'm stuck in these limiting beliefs, these belief systems, the only time you'll ever hear this holiness pastor say BS, all these belief systems that keep us stuck, right? If I have to deal with all of this trauma, or if I'm not financially stable enough so I can't leave a toxic relationship, or I don't feel like I can leave a toxic job. I mean, we can always make a choice, but sometimes you look at the choices and you're like, these are not good choices to choose from. Financial stability can open up more choices. So it's really all connected. And I'll tell you, a lot of times, especially for those of us who grew up maybe in abusive backgrounds, and I'm not a counselor, don't pretend to be one, don't play one on TV. But a lot of us who grew up in abusive backgrounds or dysfunctional families, those things are so normal to us. And then we go out and we're young and we just get into these relationships that either duplicate what we had as a child, or we go out and we try to fix what happened as a child. We try to fix what happened as a child by getting into a relationship that resembles it, so we can fix it, we can win it, we can make it better. Great book on this called Reinventing Your Life. It really opened up my eyes to some of the mistakes I was making in dating. When we do that, though, maybe God's grace is upon us and we start growing, or maybe we've taken some time to go and do some self-care, and we read some self-growth, and we do some personal growth, and we do the affirmations, and we begin to grow, and we begin to break free from all those belief systems that held us back. Well, now we're in a relationship with somebody who liked us the way we were. Now we're in a job with people who liked us the way we were, always accommodating, always saying yes, always willing to do for them at our own expense when we needed to go home, but they wanted to go home, so we did their job for them because we wanted to be liked We wanted to be accepted. We wanted to be part of the team. Okay. And so when we begin to grow and change, now we're disrupting the balance of everyone around us who was quite comfortable with us being stuck in those old belief systems. So it's all connected. And that's why at the Women's Wealth Summit, you are going to find speakers on all kinds of topics. We even have 2 men that are going to be joining us this year. We've got Dr. Jonas Gadsden and Kevin Williams. I like to call him our Building Wealth Together fatherhood expert, only because I can't get my husband to come on stage. All right. I hope I've chatted enough to give our speakers a little bit of time. Who would like to go first with a 30-second snippet? But don't go until let me know, and then I'll make you full screen, and then you can go ahead and give your comment. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first. That's fine.
All right, let me get you solo layout. There we go.
All right. So this is something that I love to teach my clients. You can do this, only takes 5 minutes in your morning or at night. And what I want you to do after you take your shower, normally, we put lotion on and we're just going through our day. I want you to stand in front of your mirror as you put lotion on, skincare, your skincare routine. And I want you to actually feel your skin. And I know that might sound weird, but we do things and we're not really mindful all the time. I want you to apply that lotion on your body, really feeling your skin, and I want you to speak life over yourself. Tell yourself that I love you. I'm proud of you. I deserve abundance. And I just want you to do that for 5 minutes. And then I want you to sit there and really just take in how you feel in that moment as you touch your body, just putting lotion and speaking life over yourself. That's the tip I have for you to invite sensuality into your life. Ooh, you're muted.
Thank you so much for that. I think a lot of us go about our daily routines and we don't even stop to think about this organ, the skin. And yet human touch is one of the most healing things in the world. And so sometimes we have to be the healing for ourselves. And so Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Yeah. Lupe, do you have something that you would like to share with us? I know I'm putting you on the spot. And I didn't prepare the speakers for this, y'all. They're speaking from their heart today. But would you like me to make you solo and you share, or?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Here you go.
Hi, ladies. What I want to share with you is that, in the last few years, through my investing journey, what I have learned is that you can never completely transform your life from one area, right? This is going to be a whole body transformation. So you cannot be financially free if you are not well emotionally, spiritually. So this is the reason why I'm here, because I know this conference is touching on so many areas of our lives, and every area is equally important, and we need to take care of all of it.
Amen. Amen. I love it. I love it. I love it. We've got to take care of all of it. Well, I think that is going to complete our speaker showcase for today. Now, one thing I'm going to do real quick. So those of you who are not backstage with me, please indulge me. I'm just going to do a real quick speaker applause for our speakers, because that way they're going to be able to take this recording and use it in their lives. But real quick, just indulge me. I know y'all didn't come here for this. That's okay if you drop off. I'm not going to be offended. All right. All right. My name is JJ Conway, and I am the founder of Building Wealth Together. We host the Women's Wealth Summit, and I want to thank Lucillenia for coming in and being such a fantastic speaker for us. She has taken a topic that's generally inconsistent with my audience as a holiness pastor, and she has been able to adapt as a professional her words of wisdom to help women become more in tune with their senses and being more sensual. And I really greatly appreciate her professionalism and her quick response in making this conference a fantastic knock it out of the park women's conference. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. All right, now Lupe, I'm gonna embarrass myself in front of all the audience who did not drop off. We did have a lot of people drop off when we first started. I think of all the guys. I forgot to ask you how to say your last name. I'm so sorry.
Chow.
It is Chow. Okay, all right, all right. Hey everybody, I'm JJ Conway. I am the founder of Building Wealth Together, and we are the host of the Women's Wealth Summit, which you can find Women Building Wealth Together Conference. I want to encourage you to hire Lupe Chow as a speaker for your upcoming conferences that have anything to do with women's wealth, anybody's wealth, real estate investing, real estate in general, or the future. As an emergency speaker, I'm always looking for somebody who will take direction, and she does take direction. I'm always looking for someone who will adapt their message to my audience, and she does that. And I'm also looking for somebody who can back what they say with some action. And being active duty Navy and a real estate investor herself, she has the chops to encourage your audience to do what they need to do for their future. So I encourage you to hire Lupe Chow for your next event. You will not be disappointed. All right, can y'all use that today?
Yes.
All right. Now I had hoped we would get some more audience participation, but I think everybody's just stunned. I think they're like, wait a second, I thought this was about money. So they're still reacting to the fact that this is about all the areas of life. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and close out, unless either of you has some last comments that you would like to say. And you can address them to me or to each other or whatever you want to do.
I look forward to the feedback, and I hope that you all join in. It's going to be an amazing conference.
Yeah, thank you for having us, JJ. I'm very excited about the event.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And before we go, let me go ahead and just close out real quick with this last thought. Each of the next Mondays, we are going to have a wonderful speaker showcase with Coach Kiva Murdoch. She is going to be hosting on her show, Our Speakers. And I encourage you to come back Mondays at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central on her platform, the Kiva's Place, the Kiva Murdoch Show. I'm JJ Conway on behalf of myself, Lupe, and Lucillenia. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Y'all take care and be blessed.